Good morning. All right, we are on to the 8.1 examples, part 2. So example A is asking me to find an equation in standard form for the parabola that satisfies the given conditions, just like last time. We start off with the vertex, which I always know is my h and my k. Whenever they give me the vertex, that's the h and the k. So my vertex is h, k, and then they give me the directrix. The directrix is x equals 6. The directrix will let me know whether I'm on the red side or the blue side. If it's x equals, and my charts are up here on the wall, when the directrix is x equals, we are on the red side. All right? So the formula there is x equals h minus p. X equals h minus p. And again, I know I'm on the red side because the blue side's directrix is y equals. So we know these are not actually color coded, but in my world they are. So the x equals is underneath the y squared parabola, okay? So what I know is that h minus p is equal to x. H minus p is equal to, I'm sorry, I said x. H minus p is equal to 6. My goal is always to find my h, my k, and I need to find my p. So I already know what my h is. My h is 4. So for the h, I will fill in the number 4, and I will solve for p. So 4 minus p equals 6. And if I wanted to solve for p, I would simply subtract 4 from both sides. Minus 4 minus 4. Negative p is equal to 6 minus 4, which is 2. Which means that positive p is negative 2. But technically, we will look at this negative like it's a negative 1 times p. So I'll divide both sides by negative 1. The negatives will cancel, the 1s will cancel, just leave me with p. P is equal to 2 divided by negative 1 is negative 2. So I have my h, my k, and my p, and I can go ahead and write my equation. Now on the red side, which is my y side, the equation is y minus k squared equals 4p times x minus h. And I'll just fill in my h, my k, and my p. So I have y minus, my k was 3. So I'll just drop down the 3. And it equals 4 times p. So it equals 4 times my p was negative 2. So all that's going to simplify to a negative 8. And then x minus my h. And my h was the number 4. So we'll just drop down that 4. And that is our equation. Oh, square. Don't forget your square there. You only have a square on one side, by the way. That's a common mistake. People will try to put squares on both sides, but you only have a square on the left. But that is my answer for A1. You'll notice I skipped A2. That is because it is a star. It will be sent to you on Google Classroom and Remind. So you guys try that. And then we're on to number 3. Again, I have the vertex. The vertex is my h and my k. This time they don't give me the directrix. They tell me that it opens upward. Okay, opens upward. So whether we were on the top or the bottom sheet, if it opens up, I'm on the blue side. Up is on the blue side, all right? Your x, if it begins with an x squared, it opens up or down. If it begins with a y squared, it opens right or left, okay? So if it opens up, we know that we are on the blue side. This has to be one of the x squared ones. We're on the blue side. And then lastly, they give me that the focal width is 16. The focal width, no matter what, is always the absolute value of 4p. All right, that's key. It's the absolute value of 4p. So my focal width is always going to be positive, okay, even if my p was negative. But the way I figure out if my p was positive or negative is by the direction of the opening. If it opens up, that means it was positive. If it opened down, it would be negative. Okay, just the same way, if I had told you that it opens to the right, it would be under y squared, but it would be positive if it opens to the right. But if it opens to the left, it would be negative. Okay? So on to our equation. We're on the blue side. It should be x minus h squared equals 4py minus k. All right, so that's my general formula. And I will fill in my h, my k, and my p. So I have x minus h. H is the number 2. It gave that to us in the beginning. So x minus 2 in the parentheses, don't forget our squared, equals 4p. Now I didn't find p, but that's because I have 4p, right? 4p is 16, so why bother finding p just to plug it back in again? So right here, for the 4p, I will put 16. And I will leave it positive. Now it would be up to you here to decide if the 16 was positive or negative, but they tell you in the direction. So remember, up or to the right, it's going to stay positive. But if it were down or to the left, I would make this negative, okay? Because what they gave me was the absolute value. So what they gave me is always going to be positive. Back to the equation, we have y minus my k, and my k is the number -1. So if I'm subtracting a negative, we know that's going to be a plus. And that is our equation. Okay, that was pretty simple. Example A.